Hello and welcome back to NDTV for the second part of the worst month.
Oh, you paralyze my mind, and for that you suck. Oh.
Remember Gremlins? I mean, I don't. I've only seen the movie like once, but it was a big enough hit released in 1984. And in its wake, a whole bunch of ripoffs came out. Movies about small creatures terrorizing a town while being little wisecracking jerks. Some of them, like Critters, managed to create an identity and go on to have their own fan base. But then you get the subject of today's review, 1998's Hobgoblins. Directed and written by Rick Sloan on a budget of $15,000, Hobgoblins became infamous after its appearance on MST3K, and to this day has a spot on IMDb's bottom 100, where it sits at 37, right above Troll 2. Is this movie worth the infamy, or do people just take a silly little monster movie too seriously? This is Hobgoblins. We begin in a dark alley where an old man is telling off a young security guard named Dennis.
What gives? You're being paid to work around here, not to sit around and blast your eardrums.
You know, this is really funny to me because I wrote a majority of the script at work in the many hours of downtime I have. The two begin their rounds as some spooky music begins playing. Where the hell are we anyway? Well, there's apparently a film vault and Dennis wants to check it out. And as the old guy leaves to check something, he does just that. Okay, I guess we'll come back to that. Well, as the old guy is reprimanded over some beer cans found near the front gate, Dennis gets to the vault and enters it. We hear some growling, but Dennis can't see anything. Okay, I can safely say I didn't see that coming. But then he falls off the stage, dying as the old guy closes the vault, cutting to the opening credits. Okay, I'll admit I'm intrigued. The old guy, named McCready, tells the boss that Dennis quit.
Every time we hire a new guard, he only lasts for a couple of weeks, then he's gone.
Well, maybe if you paid them a little more. So they hire a new guy named Kevin, played by Tom Bartlett.
You sound very mature for your age.
For your age, he looks 26.
30 years. It's amazing.
Well, not really. You know, time becomes sort of a blur when you reach a certain age.
I know how you feel. To me, 2017 feels like it was yesterday, even though it was 8 years ago. By the way, this is an old film studio. He tells him not to go to the vault area, and maybe for once someone will listen to him.
Now, I don't want to have to remind you a second time.
Hey, why not just get a chain and padlock and lock those doors?
So, is there anything else I need to be made aware of?
There is one other thing.
Oh god, run, Kevin! We abruptly cut to the next day as Kevin returns home. Here we meet his girlfriend, Amy, and his friends Daphne and Kyle. And because it's a dumb horror movie, these two are mostly one trait. Kyle is a dork, as you can tell by his tucked-in shirt and shorts. Why has my name been dragged through the mud so much the last few months? And Daphne is horny, which is clear when her boyfriend Nick arrives.
That's my Nick, back from 2 months of army training, and you know what a man wants when he's been away for 2 months.
Get a room, lady. If these two start fucking on the front lawn, it would still be less awkward than anything in Myra Breckenridge.
Would it be okay if I used your phone?
Yeah, sure. Who are you gonna call?
Movie, you can't have that line in your supernatural comedy released in 1988. Kyle excuses himself to call a phone sex hotline operated by a woman named Fantasia, with a Z so they don't get copyright claimed.
I'm going to see a movie today. It's only rated PG. I want you to show up and make it rated X.
Alright, how many bloody bodies to get an X rating?
And when the lights go down, drop your pants and show me a full moon.
Man, Kyle Reese really is the only good representation us Kyles have. By the way, what was the point of that? So after Kevin and Nick spar with rakes, which is about as exciting as it sounds, when do the Hobgoblins show up? Well, Kevin loses, upsetting Amy.
Really humiliated me.
Bitch, shut up.
What? I didn't even want to do this. It was your idea.
Well, I don't care whose idea it was. I wanted you to win.
Why are there cartoon sound effects to go with them fucking? You know, with the sound effects in that van, I can imagine this being a scene from a Scooby-Doo porno. Hell, one of them's named Daphne. Also, they finish in about 20 seconds. I know quickies are a thing, but damn. So Kevin returns to work telling MacReady his problems.
What do you do about someone who you can never make happy?
How about you dump her? Her wanting to get you into altercations with people more skilled than you, and if you lose she's disappointed, is the makings of a pretty toxic relationship. While MacReady goes to check something, he is attacked by a burglar, but Kevin shows up with a gun.
Get away from him. You don't know how to use that.
Damn it, Kevin, you missed! The burglar runs off and Kevin rushes after him while MacReady calls the police. He apparently went near the vault and Kevin follows him. Again, why don't you lock that thing? Before Kevin can enter, MacReady pulls him out and they run away. But it appears it's too late as whatever was in there has escaped. And what was in there? Yeah, those are just the Gremlins, but furrier. It's like mixing the Gremlins with Ewoks.
Oh. If you only knew what you just did.
Why the hell were they locked in a vault in an abandoned film studio? Well, MacReady explains that 30 years ago, these creatures crash-landed on the lot. He's been keeping them a secret while locked up because apparently they have some hypnotic ability to make your biggest fantasies come true, but those fantasies ended up killing everyone.
They're loose in the city now.
Okay, that's creative, I'll give them that.
There aren't very many of them, but they move quickly. Just remember, they're attracted to bright lights.
Ah, so instead of bright light hurting them, it attracts them. Totally different from Gremlins. So Kevin is tasked with killing them, which will also kill any fantasy they have cast onto a human. But once we hit daylight, they'll never be able to stop them, for some reason. So Kevin rushes off, and back at his house, we see his friends partying. And that just so happens to be where the Hobgoblins decide to go first.
Oh, that's convenient.
You people are fucking lame. The Hobgoblins trick Daphne outside thinking Nick showed up and they attack. Feel these wouldn't be that hard to defeat. She starts beating him with a hoe and goes back inside, but they follow her in and begin doing whatever this is. Nick arrives and... Oh god. So, I thought they were supposed to hypnotize them or whatever, but Kevin arrives and turns out the lights, which... Oh, that's why they went there first. Okay, props on that one. They lock most of them in the van and go inside to look for any more.
I don't understand. What were those things?
It's a long story. What they do to your body is nothing compared to what they do to your mind.
Kinky. Kyle goes off to call the sex hotline again because that's what you want to do after being attacked by hairy little monsters. But one of the Hobgoblins is there, which he somehow didn't see, and Fantasia says she's waiting for him outside. This is your biggest fantasy, dude? My god, let's hope he dies before the internet becomes a thing. They drive off to some place called Reputation Road, and Kevin follows. Amy, meanwhile... Does she want to dance there, or is she gay?
Oh, Fantasia, you're my ideal woman. You're intelligent, you got a wonderful personality. I'll bet you're a great cook, and I just know my mom's gonna love meeting you. Will you marry me?
Dude, even for the horny dork, you're pathetic. They make it to Reputation Road, and she convinces him to park near the edge of the cliff. And after some cock teasing, she tries pushing him off, but, you know, she's not that strong. Lucky for her, the car gets put in neutral, but Kevin shows up and tries beating the hoe with a hoe. Well, that failed. Instead, he goes straight for the Hobgoblin, kills it, and Fantasia disappears. He saves Kyle, but the car still goes over the cliff because, well, they had it, might as well do something with it. Damn it, Kyle, I told you to take that dynamite out of the trunk 2 weeks ago! They head back home, but the other Hobgoblins have escaped. Well, except one. Maybe this is why you should have killed them when you had them locked in. They kill it, but Amy has gone to Club Scum. They go to Club Scum and immediately get their wallet stolen, but of course the guys aren't let in.
What's for a particular girl here tonight?
Yeah, what is it?
My god, what is Marge Simpson doing here? Thankfully, Daphne knows the bouncer named Road Rash, played by Dwayne Whitaker, who would actually go on to have small roles in movies like Pulp Fiction and The Devil's Rejects, so he lets them in and we get this.
Oh, you must be here for the wet t-shirt contest tonight.
T-shirt contest?
Donkey mud wrestling?
Donkey mud wrestling?
Get lucky night?
No.
Darren Norris? Yeah, that's the future Gordy and voice actor Darren Norris in his first ever role. Well, we all start somewhere. You know, not that I'm not having oodles of fun, but wasn't this supposed to be about hobgoblins? No, seriously, this song goes on forever.
Get you guys something to drink here? There's a 2-drink minimum here.
Look, we're all underage.
Yeah, no you're not. I do love that the bouncer just gives them fake IDs. God bless the 80s. So the next act is Amy giving quite possibly the worst striptease ever put to film.
Well, what do you think, folks? Is she a hit or a miss?
Okay, movie, do you want to be a cartoon? Is that what you're trying to do? Because you're not doing a very good job. Seriously, where are the damn hobgoblins? Well, they finally show up, and thankfully one of Nick's commanding officers is there with some weapons. Road Rash, you are really bad at your job. What follows is a long, poorly shot chase scene with more sound effects. Nick then starts setting off explosives inside because apparently the people in the army are idiots. These things should not be hard to defeat. Just get some gasoline and matches. They do manage to kill the one to knock Amy out of her trance.
I have a special mission for you.
You do?
Yes. Have you ever considered joining the USO?
The USO?
Yes, think of it. Entertaining the troops, doing your part for our country.
Yeah, okay, can we just wrap it up? Well, Nick is burned alive, and then Daphne blows up the rapey officer and a couple of hobgoblins. But there's still a few left. They return to the lot, but instead of McCready, they find that burglar from the beginning.
We have a score to settle.
Because you know, when you're breaking into an abandoned studio lot, you gotta bring your nunchucks. Kevin does pretty well, but when the burglar gets a gun, it seems it's all over. Okay, pretty good twist. Although I just realized, do the hobgoblins create like actual physical beings to fight and fuck our main characters? I thought they just warped their minds into thinking it. There's about 5 minutes left, so better hurry killing the final hobgoblins, which have returned to the vault. Why the hell did you not do that 30 years ago? As Amy and Kevin get ready to fuck, Kyle hits on Daphne, but in the most surprising turn, Nick is still alive. Yeah, he got engulfed in flames and it just comes out in some bandages and crutches. His face doesn't even have a scratch on him. Don't worry, Kyle still has his other girlfriend.
Excuse me, sir. Could I use your phone?
So, that was not good, but I've seen worse. The beginning actually does have some genuine atmosphere and some pretty creepy music. Some of the performances are fine and I can't find anyone who's half-assing it. And while the plot is ridiculous, it is a comedy. But the pacing can be a bit slow, the production values are cheap, and does feel derivative of other movies, mostly Gremlins. It does have some laughs, both genuinely and ironically, so I could see why it has a cult following. Certainly a bad film, but not one of the worst things I've ever seen. So now we move on to the 1990s with... I have literally never heard of that. If I can't have you, nobody can. Well, I want you so bad, I'm gonna die. Yeah, again, shit. Yeah, okay. Shit.